Thank you so much, Wendy. Really appreciate it. One of the things that you can find out when you're working with lawsuits or lawyers or anything to do with the Department of Justice, you'll find out that there's still enormous amounts of paper that are generated, and that lawyers have their own funny way of writing. I want to talk through this because these are issues that have a very large impact on us as technologists, whether we're in the IT or the OT world. It's very important. Full disclosure, I am not an attorney. I have never been to law school. I took enough law classes in graduate school and as an undergraduate to know that I didn't want to be a lawyer. But fortunately, over the years, I have been an expert witness in a number of fairly large cases. And a couple of them, one was with a large offshore oil and gas company, one of the super majors that was suing an oil drilling company. That was about a year-long effort, putting together reports and testifying, and it was we easily had over 1 million documents just from that one. I worked for the Securities and Exchange Commission as an expert witness on for a software company that was being sued for insider trading. And that was a real eye-opener as to how much information gets kept and the fact that emails never die. So one of the good tips to take away from this is if you don't want it to live forever, don't put it in email or a text. And then one of the last ones I worked on was with a large department store who was suing basically for malpractice in software development and poor project management. This was a case study in what can go wrong as a project manager, what can go wrong as a software supplier. And this ended up, it was in civil court here in Texas, and it ended up at the time, which was about 5 years ago, as the largest single settlement against a software company. Was almost $300 million. So that was also an interesting one. So what we're going to talk about with the Department of Justice versus Google is that, they've been, the Department of Justice and 11 states attorneys general filed a lawsuit in district court for a monopoly. Well, we'll look at that and also want to compare that to AT&T when the bells were broken up into the baby bells. I want to compare it to IBM. One of the things that IBM was hit with in the late 1960s, early 1970s was they had to stop bundling software and hardware. When I put down Fortran, that was one of the interesting fallouts. IBM owned Fortran. And in the 1960s, when I was an undergraduate, when I took computer programming courses, we had Burroughs computers. And those Burroughs computers, although they could have run Fortran, we were not allowed to run it. So we ran Algol, another interesting language. Fortran became widely used after that because it was removed as IBM sold intellectual property. So there's lots of examples. I'll give you some more as we go along. And December. 31st of December was when I originally put this together, and I've got a few updates. I'll talk about what the lawsuit's about, kind of the history of the U.S. civil antitrust suits and how it's impacted us as technologists. Some of the technology companies that are being sued, the impact of the lawsuits, and let's talk about the future of Google after that. So, what happened? What's happening with the lawsuit? We're going to look at some changes at DOJ, things to keep in mind with what is going on at Department of Justice is as you may know there's a new administration in Washington, a new head, a new attorney general. There are many changes that are going on there, and I'll talk a little bit more about what that means overall to all the different lawsuits. Changes at Google, there haven't been a whole lot of changes at Google. Google's kind of taking this in stride, and I think once you see the timeline, you'll realize why this is not a, it's something they have to address, but it's not driving what Google's doing. And does the great American public care? I think that, the great American public, all of us out there, plus anyone with a, who does a search, I don't think they even realize that this is going on. It's going to be us as technologists who are going to see the issues that are occurring. So let's talk about an update. And when you look at these cases, they move pretty slowly. I did an update. And again, if you want a copy of this, I've made some notes in here. I've got copies of the slides. I'd be more than happy to share any of this with you, the links on where the lawsuit is. If for some reason you're unable to sleep at night, the lawsuit is a great way to help you go to sleep. Only the major thing that's happened was on January 21st, last week, the U.S. Attorney General told the 11 state attorney generals that they've got to catch up with the Department of Justice in their, in their filings. The discovery period started. They have not put forth what they want discovered. And what that ends up happening is the reality of it is that they pretty much just jumped on this and, signed on to the suit, but they're not doing anything about it. So that's kind of normal for state attorney generals who just kind of want to make a statement that say, hey, we're, we don't like these guys and we're going to do something about it. We'll see what happens. But as of the 21st of January, the U.S. Attorney General's pretty much said, you're going to have to put up or shut up, start working on it. And then also on the 18th of January, there was a very extensive article that came out in the Yale Journal, the Yale Law Journal. And of course, this is the section that I took out, the footnotes, as in with most legal documents, are longer than the document itself. But what they're looking at is that, digital platforms like Facebook, Google, Apple, and Amazon are favorites of the Federal Trade Commission, data privacy enforcement, and the strict European data laws. So all this suit does is it adds more fuel to the fire that Federal Trade Commission, international groups are pushing against Google for hopefully having a better handle on their data security and data privacy. Also, when you look at...
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Malutis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.